This is going to be some work on the lifeline, and the lifeline has to do with physical health. It has to do with energy, and has to do with also the direction of life. And if it's a thick Venus mount, it's a Venus influence to the life, because the lifeline's actually encases the Venus mount, and at its base it also has the thumb. Now, if, and this being the thumb up here, if you have a broken lifeline here, it's like the balloon full of water or a beach ball that has a break in it. It lets all the air or the water out. And particularly at the point where the break or the weakness occurs. Now, in certain cases, there's what they call an inner lifeline. There's like two lifelines. It's like a backup lifeline. And I've heard a lot of people even call it an angel line, which means it's an extra line of protection. So that's their point of view. But in any event, an inner lifeline is a great deal of extra protection that backs up the life or enforces the life, reinforces the life. If the line is tasseled like this, it means that it's like a rope unraveling. That means that the line is weak, and this would show a broken, inconsistent line. If the line of the lifeline moves out and you don't really see a break, it's like this, it usually means that the person changed direction in a large way. So you have all these different aspects of what a lifeline can do. Also, if you see a line coming off the lifeline like this, these are called travel lines. And it means that the person took a long, memorable trip at the point that is indicated on the line, which I'll explain in a little while. If the travel line ends in an exit, usually means an accident. If the travel line has a square on it, it means that something occurred, but the person was protected by the circumstances of the occurrence. Now, if, okay, we went through all of this now, and this shows like the different possibilities, the line being thin, the line being thick, the line being tasseled, the line being broken. Now, on this sheet over here, I have kind of a, well, I'm going to move this chart so there's no confusion of charts. But in this line here, it shows you that from the thumb down or around, the age would be like 0, 20, 30, 50, 60, etc. And the age progresses as you go away from the thumb and around the Mount of Venus. Now, in Hindu palmistry, a lot of times, we're going to begin here. This is a fate line, and the fate line usually comes up right pointing towards Saturn, the middle finger. If a line from the lifeline comes and joins the fate line, somebody had joined the fate of the person, the life of the person. Now, with Venus, which is really what the lifeline encases, the larger it is, the more the person's influenced by Venus-like people. Now, a Venus-like person is a Taurus or a Libra, and anybody born on the 6th, 15th, or 24th day of any month. Now, in Hindu palmistry, there's what they call a Venus line. This cross line is only to show you how long this line is. And this means somebody has joined the life, or it is influencing the life for the period of the time that this inner line lasts. This shows here what looks like a bubble. Like I said, if you if you look at the lifeline as if it was a balloon full of water or a beach ball full of air and it developed a bubble, you would know that that developed a weakness. Once you determine something like that, you look at the headline and the heart line, and you see if it's a physical change to the headline or the heart line. And the heart line, of course, would mean a physical problem with the heart or circulation system. The headline would mean a problem with the above neck or above type of problems of the body. So when you look for the lifeline, you look for inconsistencies or consistencies. And if Venus is a very thick or thin type of line encompassing Venus, because remember, the lifeline is like a container for Venus, and Venus has a lot to do with energy. If you see a high Venus mount or a thick Venus mount, as you feel it, in other words, how thick it is. Is it a half an inch thick or is it 2 inch thick Venus? And when you do a lot of hands, you'll notice that you get some kind of a feeling whether the mount is large or small, and it's always in proportion to the size of the hand. You may have a small female, but the mount of Venus could be very thick in proportion to the size of her hand. So when you talk about palms and figuring the age or the consistency, it depends on male, female, the weight of the person, the age of the person. You have to take everything into consideration. And like I said, if you look at Venus, if there's a negative, which means like a lack of Venus, usually there's a lot of Libra influence because Libra is considered the negative side of the mount. Not negative does not mean bad. It means less influential. And if there's a large mount, then Taurus could be affecting it, or somebody born on the 6th, 15th, or 24th day of any month. I'll be going into more propensities of the lifeline in relationship to other lines like the headline and the heart line and the fate line, etc. But this is the basic story of the lifeline, both with the degree of the way the lifeline is consistent or inconsistent, thick Venus mount or thin Venus mount, travel lines. And like I said, the age starts at the thumb and progresses like 0, 10, 20, 30, 50. And the way you figure age is you go down the lifeline from the thumb. And I'll be going into some more as we go.